Hello, hello, hello. You're watching War Ready Essentials live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please go like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Today, we are actually going to interview one of a kind. He does so much for his community. He has a plan and a purpose. And today we're going to talk about the injustice of our justice system. And when I tell you, family, that he has a story that needs to be heard, and I'm asking now if there is anyone who can help with this situation, please come on. Reach out to him, reach out to me. Trust me, this is a situation that needs to be light shedded on. And trust me, he's not the only one. But today we are interviewing the one and only Lorenzo. So Lorenzo, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
You good?
Yes, ma'am.
You good?
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell us a little bit, before we get into the deep stuff, tell us a little bit about your upbringing.
My upbringing, I could say that my upbringing was pretty strict. My mom was, I could say, pretty much militant. You know what I mean? She was on everything. In before the street lights was on. Naps at 12 on the weekends and during the summertime. Very structured.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She wasn't playing no games. As far as school is concerned, you better bring home them grades. You know what I'm saying? At one particular time I was getting all A's and B's. Actually made it to the honor class for the sixth grade. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things was going on in the home. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, by her being so strict, like I say, it went overboard.
It went overboard.
Right.
Okay. So since we're talking about, I just wanted the family just hear a little bit about and give praise, because you said militant. Your mother was on her job. She made sure that, you know, we believe that, you know, you spared a rod, you spoiled a child. So she definitely didn't spoil you.
Right.
You know, so you had structure and you had direction.
Right.
So let's shed light, and the platform is all yours. Let's shed light on the injustice that you've dealt with.
Well, I could say, you want me to start off what happened that night, or what you want me to start off?
I want you to start off at the beginning. They need to understand how your story went.
Well, I was hanging out with my, I could say, my best friend. You know what I'm saying? And one of his friends. You know what I'm saying? And, like I said, we was out riding. You know what I'm saying? Having a good time, doing our thing. The guy that was with him decided to tell him to pull over. I guess I didn't know exactly what was going on at that particular time. He told him to pull over. He got out, and next thing you know, the police. He ran back to the car. The police was on us. He jumped out. Shots was fired, and me and my best friend got away.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, he pulled off, and we went our separate ways. You know. So, let's say about 6 days, a week later, next thing you know, police on me, coming to get me. You see what I'm saying? So, they picked me up. They questioned me as if I was the one that done it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
By me being who I am and how I deal with things and how the streets deal with things. I refused to say what was they wanted me to say. You know what I mean? Remained silent. Next thing you know, I was being arraigned for the charge. You know what I Man, they arraigned me on the charge. It was me that done it. Unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? That was like crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I stepped in there, they were telling me I was being arraigned on it and I'm being charged for the crime. It was unbelievable. I was really mad. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, by me remaining silent, I have the right to be silent. So basically, what you're saying is, at that particular time, I didn't know how deep it was. You know what I'm saying? Until later on. But at that particular time, I said, "Oh, y'all gonna charge me?" But I don't say nothing. It was just unbelievable. You know what I mean? So I arraigned. Way to come to see me, and he basically just stated, you being charged, and that's, I mean, this is where we going with this.
You're watching War Ready Essentials live, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and other top media platforms. Please go like, follow, share, and comment. And go subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ, the coolest station in the world. Please continue.
Mm-hmm. So, when I got arraigned, he came to me. I didn't get my discovery packet. If anybody knows what a discovery packet is all of the statements that was written, all of the stuff that they, I guess, used against you, but they don't give you all of it.
Okay.
You know, so they withhold stuff that they don't want you to have for your defense. You feel what I'm saying? So as I was going through my discovery packet, that's when I discovered the police officer's statement. His statement, the shooter was, he said the shooter was dark skinned and 5'9". Right. Clearly, family, he is not dark skinned. Yeah. Now, before I got the discovery package, you get arraigned and then you have a preliminary hearing.
Right.
I did not receive my discovery packet until after preliminary hearing. And people got to understand that the preliminary hearing is where a magistrate or a judge sit there and decide whether they're going to charge, whether you're going to be bound up for trial. My lawyer never used the police officer's statement against him at preliminary. I probably could have stopped the trial right then and there if my lawyer would have been on his job and had the discovery package and discovered the police officer's statement. He never once brought up the police officer's statement saying that it was a dark-skinned guy who did the shooting and that he was 5'9", and that the guy that actually was testifying against me saying that I did it was dark-skinned, 5'8", an inch off. Now that could have been the stop at point at the preliminary where I would have never went to trial. But my lawyer did not bring it up. That's the reason why I tell you guys, I need you to understand and listen to my story and understand that they were involved. My judge, the prosecutor, the Detroit police, and my attorney was in on covering up this conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? This is what they went in on and teamed up on me. You know what I'm saying? They gave me an attorney that's supposed to defend my rights, but actually they gave me what you call that, a Trojan horse. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wound up getting bound over. Couldn't believe the testimony. The actual people that got robbed, because let me tell you that when old boy jumped out, he attempted to rob 2 people and the police pulled up in the middle of it. Like I say, a short, high-speed chase ensued. He jumped out, and that's when a police officer was shot. When he got shot, the police officer shot back 5 times. He returned fire. You know what I'm saying? All of this is found out after the fact, of course.
After the fact, of course.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what happened. So, like I said, after the preliminary, I got bound over for trial. That's when I got my discovery packet, and that's when I discovered the police officer's statement, which stated that, in his statement, signed by him, stating that a dark-skinned 5'9" guy shot him. And I contacted my lawyer. I said, why wasn't this brought up preliminary? He said he didn't check the file, he didn't do this, and he didn't do that, or whatever.
So basically he didn't do his job.
Right.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And that would have been a key factor.
Mm-hmm.
So what wound up happening is I went to trial. Now, Now the officer got on the stand, and when I tell you, in front of my judge's name was Timothy M. Kenny. Now I want you to really focus on that name, Timothy M. Kenny, because Timothy M. I have proof, and I can show you that Timothy M. Kenny is Wayne County's henchman. You know what I'm saying? They call on him to cover up discrepancies with the police when it gets too deep, like this situation. As I continue on my story, then you understand how deep it is. Like I said, the police officer got on the stand who got shot, got on there and testifying that I did the shooting, that I shot him. That's when my lawyer was forced, because I was on him. I was writing down questions myself.
As you should.
Right. And I made sure that he cross-examined him to the fullest about his statement. And when I tell you that this Detroit police officer got on the stand and admitted several times that he said a dark-skinned guy shot him, the judge actually stopped when we had him pinned and admitting to the fact of the dark-skinned theme. My judge called a recess. Literally. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about, got on the stand, you gotta realize I had a photographic lineup, which I wasn't supposed to have. At that particular time, the law has changed now. They done slickly took that out of it, but it still applies to my situation. I had a right to an attorney present in my photographic lineup. And then by me being in custody, I was supposed to go live to his bed and put in a lineup for him to choose who he felt was the one who did it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to realize that photograph lineup is what really cost me. That what really caused me to go to trial. By me being identified by the actual person who been shot. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, no attorney was present. Now, when he was questioned about the photograph lineup, he asked him, what did you use to identify him as, so what caught your eye? He just said, my complexion. Now, come to find out, I was the only light-skinned guy in the lineup. And he said this. He said the only thing, he said, did you use any facial features? He said, no, I just went off his complexion. I was the only light-skinned. Everybody else, and he said it out his mouth, everybody else is pretty much medium complexion. He said it out his mouth. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, he caught him up on the dark-skinned situation. And then, like I said, the judge called a recess, and then he came back well prepared, and he switched up his testimony, and he stuck to the light skin thing. You see what I'm saying? Now, I want you to make you aware of something at this particular time. When he got on the stand and testified, it came out that he said when he got shot, he returned fire with a .40 caliber semi-automatic weapon,
right.
Smith & Wesson. You see what I'm saying? At this particular time, I didn't see it as being a significance, because I didn't know how deep and corrupt police and the court system is. You understand what I'm saying? I never seen this coming. So, like I said, he got off the stand. The person who took the statement got on there and stated that it was a mistake that he put down dark skin theme, because his practice was, he listens to the statement and he goes back to the office to write it down by memory. A 3-page statement. That's what he said. He said, I listened to his statement and I went back to the office and wrote it down by memory. That's what he said. That's why he said it was a mistake. But as he was being questioned, the lawyer tricked him up into saying that he was actually writing it down as he was stating it. Blatantly. I'm talking about, this was ridiculous. I'm talking about wow.
In your face.
Yes. It was
conspiracy, basically.
Right. Wow. I'm talking about. So, like I said, my defense, like I said, was by being a dark-skinned individual. You know what I'm saying? By being a statement, being a dark-skinned individual is no other than who done the shooting. He did the shooting. You understand what I'm saying? And by me not understanding why they chose to put it on me, I didn't have no defense for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't understand why. The only thing that was going through my head is I remained silent. You see what I'm saying? So what it was is, now the the person now the ballistics, it was 7 shots. One shot was fired where he got shot, and the officer returned fire 7 times. Now the police officer who the evidence technician person got on the stand and testified that there were 7 9mm shell cases found at the scene of the crime. All on the same, all on different evidence tags, 254, 701, 254, 703, so, you know what I'm saying, and so on and so on.
Right.
Right after she gets off the stand and testifies that 9mm shell casings was found coming from Officer Blake's gun, the prosecutor actually got on the record and stipulated, meaning that she's putting in evidence that those same shell cases that she said were already 9mm, she lied and said they were 40 caliber shell cases. I didn't peep that at the particular time. Like I said,
wow.
You know what I'm saying? So that I need y'all to understand that's significant in this situation and why they chose to violate my rights and lock me up for 25 years.
Absolutely.
So wind up, like I say, long story short, I wind up being convicted. It was hands down, I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe. Now, mind you, I didn't have family. I was in hospitals, mental hospitals at 11, 12 years old, and I spent time. So I think that they actually thought that I was a lush, or I was an idiot or so. You know what I'm saying? I thought that they was gonna be able to throw me away and not hear nothing else about it. I think that's what's the case. And then I didn't have no family, I didn't have no support, really, you know what I'm saying? So that I think that plays a factor also. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, okay, we can do what we want in here because ain't nobody in here that's gonna stand up for him. Ain't nobody here for him. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, I got convicted. I went through the process of appeal. I had several appeal issues, especially dealing with the photograph lineup. I didn't have counsel present. It was highly suggestive, and that issue alone should have got my appeal reversed, but they refused to acknowledge it. So I want you people to understand that it's not just the actual criminal courts, it's also the appeal courts. They all work together.
They all work together. Absolutely.
I don't want you to get no misunderstandings. This is simple facts. I'm not here to, you know what I'm saying, to tell a lie. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that by me stating these facts to you, that I'm putting my life on the line, because we're dealing with, I don't know what type of police, I don't know what you think about police. I'm not saying all police officers are bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And let me get that understood. But we have some that don't play.
Absolutely.
That will put you they will put you more further than jail. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes down to their namesake and when you're dealing with judges and police officers.
Right.
You have to understand it's a dangerous game. So I don't have no reason to come on here and broadcast and tell lies and then be out here worried, because I'm on a daily basis I'm worried. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not scared enough to not speak on this. You understand what I'm saying? If something happens, it happens. But like I said, I went through appeals, went all the way through the United States Supreme Court, got denied. Now this is what God do. I gave up. I literally was about to take my own life. You know what I'm saying? I stopped brushing my teeth.
Jesus.
I went to level 5. My beard grew so out cold. People that I knew for years didn't recognize me, literally. You see what I'm saying? And then one day, like I said, every day that I was locked up, I read my transcripts over and over again, over and over again. You see what I'm saying? Because I couldn't believe what I was reading. It was like a nightmare. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like I say, one day I thought about it. I said, I never really looked at my preliminary hearing, so I pulled out my preliminary hearing. Now, in the preliminary hearing, the first thing that got on the stand, first person, was the officer that got shot. They got on the stand, and I'll tell you, he wound up stating, they said, "What did you do when you got shot?" This officer stated on the stand under oath that he returned fire with a revolver. I pulled my revolver and shot back 4 or 5 times. That's when I caught it. I said, "Wow, revolver? No. You guys had you had a semi-automatic weapon. Y'all gave it to in my mind they knew. I know what they service weapon is 40 caliber semi-automatic weapons. They gave up revolvers in the 80s. They had been carrying.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I automatically peeped that, and this is black and white. So anybody that knows the law, that's involved with the law, and feel that they can do something about this and help me do something about this, I think y'all need to really call me and contact me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm having a hard time getting people to really stand up. It's like people don't understand that judges and lawyers go to breakfast, lunch with each other. They're colleagues.
Yeah,
each other like colleagues.
Absolutely,
and
they
it's
are.
Like they friends. So certain people don't want to step up because they don't want to hurt their friends' reputation. So they really overlooking it. Then you got some people that's bad, that's been doing worse than what he does. Timothy M. Kenny, I'm going to say it again, Judge Timothy M. Kenny, and the officer that was involved, and the prosecutor that was involved, and the defense attorney that was involved. So you have some people that just as dirty as them, that can't stand up, because if they stand up, then the light going to be shed up on their bad deeds. People got to understand this. This is very serious. What happened to me happens every day. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit back and don't think that you can not say nothing, because then all of a sudden it be your son, be your nephew, it might be you that gets set up and not have a fair trial. You have a right to a fair trial. So like I said, I found that. I said, wow. So I go back to the trial transcripts, and he specifically stated that he fired a .40 caliber semi-automatic weapon. Perjury already, right there. You know what I'm saying? Instantly I came back to life. Because now I understood why you guys blamed me. You understand who shot you. You understand exactly who shot you, but you decided to put it off on me because I believe, like I said, on the evidence technician sheet, there's 7 9mm shell casing that's found at the crime scene.
9mm.
9mm.
Not 40
calibers. And we both.
And not revolvers.
See what it is, though. See what it is. I want people to understand why. Because, like I said, why God was involved. Because if he would have said I pulled my firearm and fired back, then 9 times out of 10 I would have never saw this. But like I said, revolver was what caught me. He didn't have to say that. All he had to do was say I pulled my firearm and return fire. But like I say, that's why I tell you God was involved with this, because now he blatantly says this on the stand under oath that he turned fire 4 or 5 times with the revolver. Now the reason why he was overthinking things at this particular time, you know, that's what happens when you're lying and you're trying to cover up stuff. When you're dealing with a guy like me, you know what I'm saying? Because I stand on righteousness and on everything that I do, and I feel that God exposed him through this. Now, when he said that he had a revolver, because anybody, I'm only speaking to those who is not familiar with firearms. Revolvers do not leave shell cases. You have to actually open up the cylinder and empty the revolver to let the shell casings out. You feel what I'm saying? Now, semi-automatic weapons, this the reason why they call it semi-automatics, because when you load up a semi-automatic, you pop the clip in, you rack it. That means when you take in a bullet from the clip and you actually putting it in the hole to where you can fire, and it automatically discharges the shells out each shot. So that means it expels. So when you shooting, it means your shell casings is actually hitting the ground. That's why he said a revolver, because he's trying to say that those 9mm was not his shell casing.
That's why he said
it was self-contained in his revolver. That's why he said revolver.
So that was your first, when you read that gave you hope.
That gave me an understanding of exactly, and that's all I needed right there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because now I understand why you set me up, because now he had something. The actual guy, you couldn't charge him with the crime because he had something over you guys' heads. You had a gun, a dirty gun, a gun that you wasn't supposed to possess. So now he has something that he can speak on and speak up on, and that's a problem. So now this is what I believe. I believe that he actually made a deal. They actually made a deal with him to keep silent about this dirty gun, and then just testify against Lorenzo, and we're gonna set him up for the crime, and we all be happy. We're gonna let you go on the crime.
Oh, but God.
Nah, that's what happened. You see what I'm saying?
God.
So, like I said, I filed. As soon as I found it, I actually wrote my judge, because people was telling me by me having a bench trial, he been the actual referee over the situation, that he has the power, by being so much corruption involved and so much lying involved, that he has the power to overturn it and bring me back to court. He actually didn't respond. No, actually, I filed another motion with him, and I actually was writing him and asking him about what happened to that motion. He wasn't responding, you know what I'm saying? So when I responded to him, when I wrote this letter talking about this revolver and this dirty gun and how I pointed out point for point in the record, sending copies of my transcripts, letting him know that this happened, then he responds about the other motion. He did not say nothing about what I get. He tried to really, because the motion that I sent him was actually a resentencing motion, really asking for a better sentence. You understand what I'm saying? Because I done exhausted every other remedy. You feel what I'm saying? So now it was like he was trying to get me back in the court to give me that action on that. And I wrote him back. I'm not no longer interested in that.
Like, because at this point, how many years have you done?
This was about 2008. So I did 10 years before I found this. So now I can prove, because I know what you guys did. You know what I'm saying? The appeal courts upheld it and covered for y'all. Now I have something that nobody can cover. You understand what I'm saying? And that's when I filed, when he responded and would not try to slickly give me because I already knew what he was going to do. He was going to basically call me back and then let me go. That's not what no.
Oh, no.
No, we ain't going to do that. No, I want everybody to understand what you guys did to me and what y'all continue to do, and y'all put under disguises like y'all good people and y'all actually out here serving the people. No, you're not. You know what I'm saying? So now it's deeper than that. And that's why I feel like God put it on me, because freedom, me just to go free is not enough.
Freedom's not free.
After you took 10 years from me, and my child is 11 now. You understand what I'm saying? You took me from my child. You stopped me from having other children within them 10 years. You did a lot to me. And I need everybody to understand what you guys did to me and what you continue to do. What you have done in the past, what you continue to do, and what you're going to plan on doing a long time to come. And they're still doing it to this day. Don't ever get it twisted. So, like I said, I filed a 6.500, which if people don't understand the lingo of that, that's a motion that you file with your original judge first. That's like an appeal. And you decide, in that a 6.500 motion, you put in there the issues that you want to bring to him, let him know why he should let you go home. I gave it to him. He gave a response, switched up the evidence, lied. I'm talking about changed the facts. I got this in black and white also. You see what I'm saying? Wound up denying it, and that's when I knew how deep the conspiracy was. You know what I'm saying? That's how I knew that he was in it.
That's the story that you're telling me is really blowing my mind. But let's take a second and family, you're watching War Ready Essentials live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and other social media platforms. Please go like, follow, share, comment, and go subscribe. We thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. I want to touch on something that you said first. In regards to them 10 years, and you realized that you were taken away from your child and not able to have any more children. So at this point, you wanted them to be held accountable.
Held accountable. People don't understand, man, how deep this situation is, because I don't want to just say they're coming at black men, because they're not only coming at black men. They coming at black men a little bit more heavily, but they really focus. They really don't care about. They care about the money you have, and can you defend? Can they slickly throw you away without any repercussions? Can they do this and not have a big blowback? You understand what I'm saying? And what people got to understand is why. My son was the biggest problem. You know what I'm saying? That was my biggest situation that bothered me the most. It's because I wasn't there to be able to raise my son. You know what I mean? And that right there blew my mind, because my son was 1 year old. You know what I'm saying? I loved my child. You know what I'm saying? My child actually literally changed my life. You know what I'm saying? And to be taken away, the last time I seen him was saw him was in getting sentenced. And my dad was actually holding him, and he was pointing at me. That's your dad, go your dad. And that was actually the last time I seen my dad. He died, wound up dying 99. The next year, I got locked up in 98. He died the next year. Never saw him again. Right, the last time I seen him was holding my son, getting sentenced. So you have to understand, when these people are blatantly locking us up with no remorse, giving us fake appeals, you know what I'm saying? Because don't get it twisted, the appeals process is strictly made to shoot you down. They looking for they not looking for a reason to let you go. They looking for every reason to keep you in prison. And that's what they did. They allowed my judge to restate the facts, my prosecutor to say what they want to say. They didn't want to hear what I had to say about anything. You know what I'm saying? About the photograph lineup, blatant violation. They overlooked it. My attorney, I actually got into it with my appeals attorney because when I first went to prison, I learned, because like I said, I went straight to law library. I wasn't the type of guy to go play basketball and cards all day. I was focused on my child, getting home free. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I found out, that's when I found out that I had a right to attorney at the photograph lineup. I'm talking about any person that looked at the law for a week will learn that my attorney knew this, that I had a right to an attorney at that photograph lineup. And the prosecutor asked, when she was questioning the police officer who had the photograph lineup, she said, was an attorney present? He said, I do not recall. So what I'm saying is, that should have prompted, like my attorney by him, that's how you know that he was working with them. Because by even the questioner aroused, he was supposed to attack it. What do you mean you don't recall an attorney was present? Right. He's supposed to attack this before trial. Because we got to understand, when you take your preliminary, your defense attorney comes in, he's supposed to file motions before you even go to trial. And that's what he's supposed to have done. He's supposed to attack that photograph lineup because that's what got me put on trial. I had to be identified because two people got robbed. One of them said, I don't know if it's him. The other guy said, it's not him. So the only person who identified me, other than the one who actually did the crime, right. You know what I'm saying? Because his word really don't mean nothing, because first of all, in the statement it says dark-skinned guy. So your identification don't mean nothing. Mm-hmm. But the person who gets shot, the person who was harmed, and he was a police officer, points me out in a photograph lineup, that's what got me pinned down and put on trial. So my attorney never challenged it. Never challenged it. So I had to challenge it on appeal. Once I did, like I say, once you get past trial stage, it's hard. Like I said, and my attorney, I got into it with my appeal attorney. I'm talking about basically where we was loud in the visiting room. I called a CO over there and said, I want you to bear witness that I told him I needed a Wade hearing, a motion filed to solidify that I did not have, because you have to file. When you go on an appeal, when you're dealing with that type of issue, you have to file a motion and have a Ginter hearing. Now ask, why did you not challenge this photograph lineup? Because they called it so-called, it could have been trial strategy. No, you know what I'm saying? So you have to get that on record. Why didn't you file a motion to get this photograph lineup put out? Right. You know what I'm saying? Where you can use it. And then actually, if you would have done that, once the photograph lineup got excluded, then what do you have? Now you file for a motion to dismiss the case. That's how deep that issue was. Now my lawyer refused to file it. Now we wind up going up over the time limit as far as filing a motion for a Ginter hearing. Now I gotta file it on I had to wind up. So he wound up stepping down from my case, and I get another attorney who didn't file it. I had to file it on my own, improper. And then they said that I went past the time limit. I explained to them that my attorney refused to file it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if that issue, you gotta realize, if they gave me an opportunity to be heard on that issue, they would have had to give me my freedom. I want you guys to understand what I'm telling you. The appeals court overlooked it on purpose because that particular issue would have sent me home.
So, okay, so we're stating that the conspiracy started when the officer stated he used his revolver.
The conspiracy started the night that he used that 9mm. He actually shot a 9mm 7 times. When he got rushed to the hospital, the police officers actually pulled 7 .40 caliber bullets out his clip to try to show that his firearm got shot. So when it goes to the evidence, that they can say.
So he had a hot gun, basically.
Yeah, 9mm. He had to.
He had a hot gun.
Because like I say, like I tell people, if it was legit, they wouldn't be going out their way to hide it.
They were playing the games.
Right. So the conspiracy started there. And see, people got to understand this is why it's deeper than the police. This is why people don't want to deal with my case, because it's showing it's not only corrupt police officers. We're talking about a whole system. We have a system that has people in it that is together and will set you up and send you to prison. You see what I'm saying?
And go all out.
Right, because you got to realize when this crime happened and they actually started hiding the 40, they take the 40 caliber, they take the 40 caliber bullets out of his gun. The police did that. So they already knew.
They knew what time
They knew that this is they gonna ride for us. They gonna do what we need to be done. Mm-hmm. So you have to find a judge, first of all, that's willing to overlook all of this, because you gotta realize all of this goes in front of him. He can see everything. Like, hold on, what's this? What's this? So you got to find a judge that overlooked that. So that's when they called.
And what was the judge's name again?
Timothy M. Kinney. So that's where that conspiracy started, right then, to cover up this gun. Okay, so now we get Timothy M. Kinney. Now we have to get a prosecutor that's going to overlook it, because you got to understand that these people are officers of the court. When they see some wrong, they supposed to. When they take that oath to uphold the Constitution, they supposed to say something when it's foul play.
Yes.
Especially when the police are
when
involved. They supposed to call the internal affairs and everything. Why does this guy have a gun that he wasn't supposed to use? So now you have to think. Now you got to find a prosecutor that's gonna ride with the judge.
Do you have the prosecutor's name?
Patricia M. Leonard.
Okay.
She was my prosecutor. So that was the prosecutor. They get him. So now you got to get a defense attorney that's gonna ride with this and not defend him like he's supposed to be defended. Because if we get a person that's gonna come in there
and do their job,
we ain't gonna be able to do this.
And what was your defense attorney's name?
Joseph D. Welton. You know what I'm saying? And that's when the conspiracy started, before trial. They deep with this, y'all.
Now, is he still on the bench?
Timothy M. Kinney, the last time I checked, because I'd be scared to look these guys up because I don't want to be looking like on some other stuff. Last I heard, he was the chief judge. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he's still the chief judge now, but he's still on the bench. He's still working. You see what I'm saying? And when I tell you that he's the most corrupt, I done seen him personally. He is not worthy of that bench, and I'm not gonna stop until everybody knows what this guy done. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm not about being angry, you guys. It's not about angry. It's about understanding that the impact that these people have on all of these lives. You gotta realize I did 25 years. So imagine how many people that Judge Timothy M. Kinney, Patricia M. Leonard, Officer William Blake, Officer Little John, who was the head.
How many more are in jail that don't have a voice?
Why?
So you're the voice for the voiceless.
People are scared. They're scared to speak on stuff like this.
As they,
you know what I'm saying? Like they would
because
not.
Sometimes things happen,
yeah.
and they make it look like, oh, it was an accident, oh, it was an overdose.
Right.
They're good for that one.
They're good for that one. Yeah. It's a case.
Or the hanging.
Right. It's actually an officer who actually stood up years ago. He was actually telling about how they had a miscellaneous files, hiding evidence and all that type of stuff. Did you know that man and his wife wound up murdered? It was like they said it was a murder suicide. The attorney that actually was representing him ran off to Washington. Like, you know what I'm saying? This stuff is deep. When I'm like, you guys don't understand what I'm doing here. You see what I'm saying? This is not play. You know what I'm saying? This is serious business right here.
Yeah, you really need to understand that you are putting your life on the line.
Yeah.
That's how serious it is.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you are speaking for the voiceless. Right. You are speaking for the ones. You speaking for my brother.
No doubt.
You speaking for somebody's son.
Yeah.
You know, even let's go. You speaking for someone's daughter.
Yeah.
You know, someone's mother. So I have to commend you on that.
Yes, ma'am.
You
Thank
know,
you so much.
and I ask God to cover you and to stage angels around you of protection because you fighting a war.
No doubt.
And you ready.
War ready.
You well ready.
No doubt.
Okay, so let's continue.
Now, what I want people to understand, this is a key point that I want people to truly understand. It was a case that happened in 2008. The police got on the stand and testified. It was a double homicide. The police got on the stand and testified that, I don't know for sure, but I think it was 42 shots was fired. The police officers testified that all 42 shots came from one gun. Now, the defense attorney, went and got his own ballistics guy, and he did the ballistics test. Come to find out, it was 2 different firearms involved with this double homicide. Now, I'm not for sure if anybody is remembers this, but it should be remembered. In 2008, the Detroit Police Department lost their crime lab. It got shut down because
By the state.
Right, because crime labs have a zero tolerance for errors. You cannot have, if they find one error, and that goes for across the country.
Yeah.
If they find one error in a crime lab, they have to shut it down and redo all the evidence to see what happened and make sure that no mistakes was done before this case. So what happened was they shut down the Detroit Crime Lab in 2008, and now you got to understand they swept that under the rug. First of all, what was crazy is they got Kim Worthy to oversee this investigation. Y'all gotta understand, she is the main person who violates people's rights and throws away people's lives. I'm talking about plays with people's lives. She don't play. She gonna convict you, and she gonna help uphold those bold convictions. See, they put her in charge of this to oversee this investigation. Now, what happened was Michigan State Police did an audit. They did a preliminary audit. They took 250 cases. Do you know they came back with a 10% error rate? So what I'm telling you guys, when the preliminary audit on the Detroit Crime Lab, they took 250 cases, and at least 25 of those cases was bold.
Because I think the state is still doing the crime.
Michigan State Police.
Michigan State is doing it, I believe.
And you're not hearing about it a lot.
Yeah.
That's why they put Kim Worthy on the job, to cover it up. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, you guys, I got convicted in '98. Timothy M. Kinney.
You're watching War Ready Essentials live, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other social media platforms. Please go like, follow, share, comment, and go subscribe. We thank you in advance for watching WJZZ, the coolest TV and coolest station in the world. Yeah, even the best can bumble with the mouth. But Kim, I've heard so much.
Yeah, Kim Worthy.
I heard she was a beast.
Oh yeah, she is, and I have no reason to lie. You know what I'm saying? And all I can do is show you. You know what I'm saying? Track record. This woman does not care. She does not care about your life. She don't care about if you're guilty or innocent.
The truth. She don't care about the truth.
As long as she locking you up, that's all she care about.
Do you think it's like they're getting kickbacks from the jail system? Do you think it goes that far?
Everybody should understand that they're making a lot of money by locking us up.
Each prisoner costs them. They're getting
there's a lot of behind the scenes. There's a lot of stuff that people don't truly understand about this system. Period. Where the money come in at when you lose a trial and you go to prison. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of money involved with this.
I really believe that it was a setup when they closed all the mental facilities.
Yes.
That was a setup.
Yes.
Like it was a play for the underlay. You know what I mean?
So they can more warehousing in the penitentiary.
Right.
Now, the key point that I was hitting upon is the fact that 2008, that's when the crime lab got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, now the individual that was on trial, his judge was actually upset with the findings. How did y'all mess this up? You know what I'm saying? And he was on the prosecutor and was basically telling them, like, look, man, we're going to lose this case. We're going to dismiss this case. Right. And the prosecutor argued with him, like, you can't do that, Judge, by his plea. Now, guess what happened? He winds up stepping down from the case. Now, you have to understand, in order for a judge to step down from the case, he has to have viable reasons to step in front of it. You just can't do it just because you want to. Mm-hmm. Guess who takes his spot on his case? Who? Timothy M. Kenny. Now, the hope that this guy had of winning or getting dismissed went out the gate, went out the door. Already. Timothy M. Kenny came in, and he's in prison right now.
Lord have mercy.
You know what I'm saying? So what I want you to understand, you guys, Timothy M. Kenny now my situation dealt with ballistics. You gotta understand what gun he fired, what shell casings was found at the scene of the crime. That's called ballistics. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand, 2008, when the police officer got up there testifying that 42 shots came from one gun, they found out he was lying, and they botched it, botched the evidence. They called Timothy M. Kenny in again.
Cover up man.
Exactly. Now this is black and white. Now I can't make this up. Now 1998, I got convicted. He was involved with a bold ballistics case, which is my case. And then 10 years later, a high profile, because my eyes was high profile. But what it is this, but the high profile in 2008 was on the police and their mess ups. But my case, it was high profile on me. So now you have two cases dealing with bold ballistics, and Timothy M. Kenny is involved with both of them.
Mm-hmm. It's not a coincidence.
It's not a coincidence. Mm-hmm. And the fact that I call attorneys and talk to them about this and explain to them, and then people don't want to step up, it causes alarm. You have an appeal attorney who doesn't want to step up, that causes an alarm. You need to understand what we're dealing with, people. You know what I'm saying? So
who has the balls? Because it takes balls.
Oh, yeah.
To stand up to corruption.
See, it takes a person who's not worldly. You know what I'm saying? Who's not afraid. See, my thing is, God put this energy in this flesh. Mm-hmm. That's just how I go, and that's why a lot of people have they have such disdain against me, because I'm not a fleshly being. I'm spiritual. I'm not. Fear is not a factor to where you're gonna stop me from doing what I need to do.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? Now, of course, by being a smart individual, like I tell people, they say, you can't think about the bad things because you'll draw it into your life. Yes, I'm deep on these laws of attraction, but you have to understand, when you walking into a jungle, you know that there's stuff in that jungle.
Lions and tigers and bears.
Lions and tigers and bears that they get on you.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? And I understand the risk that I'm taking. You understand what I'm saying? And most would not take on this risk to expose this situation. So I understand the danger, but I'm just not. Yes, I'm worried. I'm scared, but I'm not scared enough to be silent.
That's right.
That's what I'm gonna say.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm
Absolutely.
Not scared enough to be silent. And like I say, if something happens to me along the way, hey, that's what God calls for. You feel what I'm saying? But I refuse to allow this to go without being me stepping up and saying something about it. You feel what I'm saying? It just, and then you have to realize how many kids I could have had. When you talking about 25 years, and then beyond that, how many people is locked up and being set up, whether they've been set up, didn't have a fair trial, all of this.
And then they have this facial recognition and it's locking up people.
Right, but you have to understand, you got people that got set up, that's doing natural lives. You got people that is innocent, in there with 30 years, 20. You have to understand within that time, how many children could they have had? You committed genocide. You're knocking out so many lives when you do this type of stuff.
And you told me that when we were just talking, that it's men in prison who have never laid with a woman.
Yeah, it's actually people in prison that have been locked up since they were 15, 16 years old.
And that's insane.
And like been in there 30, 40 years.
Family, we're going to have to continue this discussion. We got to have a part 2.
No doubt.
We got to have a part 2.
No doubt.
So, family, we appreciate you watching War Ready Essentials live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment. Please subscribe. We thank you for watching WJZZ.
And make sure y'all go to my Facebook.
That's right, Cool TV. Go to War Ready Essentials, please. And then also go on YouTube for Detroit Streets.
No doubt.
Check us out. Peace out, fam.